Hello! Thank you for coming to this video today, guys. I really appreciate it. This is my weekly Cardano recap, where I try to take all the information that you've missed in the last week in Cardano and put it in a nice consumable video for you. So what are we going to be going over today? We're going to be going over a lot of stuff. I'm going to be doing an interview with Charles Hoskinson, so I'm going to be giving you the announcements and dates on that. Cardano is moving towards adoption, so I'm going to be giving some information on how they're doing that. There's also 2 partnerships from Emurgo, which is pretty cool. The federal government is also exploring building a digital currency, which is really interesting. We're going to be going over that a little bit. We're also going to be taking a deep dive into the partnerships that Emurgo did. They partnered with a company that's going to be offering you the ability to buy gift cards from over 1,100 companies. So today I'm going to take you step by step through that process and see if this is actually a good company to buy these gift cards from, and see the fees and check it out and see if it's actually worth it. So before we jump into the video, if you guys want to support me, the best way that you can do that, just by using your ADA and not spending a dime, is actually delegating to my 2 pools, Bloom. We have Bloom and Bloom 2. They offer a 2.5 million pledge on each pool to secure the network from Sybil attacks. We also provide the minimum cost per epoch at 340 with just a 5% fee, so we can provide the best infrastructure for Cardano. Currently, this epoch, we've made 51 blocks on Bloom and 27 blocks on Bloom 2. Both the pools are killing it. I really appreciate all the support. The second way that you can support me is through the Brave browser. What the Brave browser does is it actually blocks all ads and the trackers within those ads. And those trackers actually get your data and sell them just so they can pay for more of those ads. So to protect your digital privacy, all you have to do is download the Brave from the link down below, and you also get paid in cryptocurrency for using it. And what's really cool is the cryptocurrency is actually built into the browser, and you can actually send tips to content creators like Ada Pools or like my YouTube channel. And all you do to check that is it says right here, Brave verified creator, send tip, send the amount, and click send. It's really simple, and you also support me by downloading the Brave browser. But let's jump into the video. So the first thing I want to talk about today is a tweet from Charles Hoskinson. We are stepping up on marketing. I'm making some hires and more things to come. I think this is really important. Once Goggon's out, once Voltaire's out, Cardano is going to be moving towards the age of scalability and marketing. We're going to have to get ourselves out there, and we're going to have to be building, and we're going to have to be bringing these devs in. So I think making some new hires for marketing is really important. Like he said, more things to come. So while we're here, we're on Charles's tweet. I'm actually doing a podcast/interview with Charles Hoskinson on Monday, August 31st at 5 p.m. EST. So I really would like you guys to actually be in attendance for that. It's going to be awesome. It's my first one-on-one interview with him, so I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be a really great time, and I'm excited. It's going to be live, so I'd love you guys to be there, to comment, watch it live with us, and just share that experience with me, So the next thing I wanted to talk about is a tweet from this guy named Cardano. That's his tag if you want to follow him. He has a really important tweet here, and my ideologies fall in line with him, so I just wanted to give him a shout out and also share this tweet. He said, "Some people are afraid of hyped hashtag crypto projects like hashtag Polkadot, or Polkadot, however you pronounce it, and think that is a competitor for Cardano. Cardano is a great piece of technology, and it has taken 5 years to get from zero to mainnet. Do not be afraid of competition. Celebrate cooperation. Believe in $ADA. I agree with him completely. I think competition is good. To think that the people of IOHK, the engineers working there, are not looking at the great accomplishments of Polkadot and not taking those into account and bettering themselves from it, I think is naive. I think they're looking directly at Polkadot. Charles actually tweeted at them the other day and said, "Great work and great engineers over at Polkadot." So what do you think Cardano is doing from the great achievements at Polkadot? I don't know much about it, but if they're doing great things, if Charles is recognizing it, I'm sure they're doing great things. So as far as competition is good in the crypto space, because we're going to take the great things from Polkadot and the great things from Cardano and merge them together to make a better product, right? So I think you, as a holder, you shouldn't be too worried about competition as long as the project that you're into isn't a project that's like, oh, we're the best and we'll always be the best, right? And that's not what Cardano is. That's not the ideologies behind Cardano. We want to work together with people. We want to move the crypto space forward, right? So you're in the right project if you're worried about competition, because we're going to take the best things from those competition and build them on Cardano. And if we need to, we're going to vote to build those things on Cardano. Right. So that's my little rant about that. We'll go to the next part of the video now. Partnership. Cardano users can now spend ADA on Amazon, Nike, Starbucks, 1,100 plus others. I hate this title. It's the worst. Users cannot spend ADA on Amazon. This is clickbait. I hate it. What you can do is you can actually buy cards, gift cards for these sites using ADA or other cryptocurrencies, right? So an important distinction there. So they just kind of go in a bunch of blah, blah, blah. I really do think this article is trash, but it is an article. So instead of actually going through and reading this trash article, what we're going to do is actually go to this website, check out the fees, see if this website is actually a good addition to ADA adoption. See if it is a good place to spend our ADA, right? Or are the fees too high? Or is this just pointless? It's just another pointless partnership that makes a nice headline for a week. That's what we're going to figure out today. We're diving deep. Okay, so we're now on the website to buy gift cards from Badali. It's actually giftcards.badali.com. All right, so let's see what we have. The first thing I wanted to check is if we can get some chicken McNuggets from McDonald's, right? So let's check. No Nick, or nothing for Mick. We can try Mac. Nope, just Macy's and CVS. So it looks like you can't actually get chicken McNuggets from McDonald's. Very unfortunate. We can look up Steam. Can you buy some great games or some CSGO skins? Nope, not looking good. So no Steam gift cards, but I think I did see Blizzard, so you can get some Blizzard gift cards. There's a lot of good ones on here, just to give them some credit. You know, I did look up 2 that didn't come up, but Amazon's on here, Chipotle's on here, Apple, Adidas, Airbnb's a big one. I mean, they have over 1,100 on here. I do think this is a pretty good range of people of companies to buy gift cards from. So really, all we need to know is the fees, right? If I want to spend some of my ADA and I can't really do that directly through Chipotle, if I can do that with low fees, then it'd be worth it, right? And until Chipotle starts accepting ADA. So let's go through with this. Let's see what we can what we got to pay for this, and let's see if ADA is accepted already. Right, so we'll do a $10 gift card for Chipotle. Get us a nice burrito, double steak. Just a nice way to start off the day. We can add that to the cart. That was pretty seamless. I did like how fast that was. There was no loading in between, and it was directly added to the cart up here. This is looking pretty good so far. Oh, important information. If you're paying from exchange, you must add the exchange withdrawal fee on top of the payment amount requested. Some cryptocurrencies require a minimum of $40. So that's another thing to keep in mind. We'll be able to see if ADA is actually doing that. Okay, so now you guys have my email address to spam me everything. That's actually my poopy email address that I use for spam. So just go ahead, have it. Have it! Okay, so we are on the payment method. So we see Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Stellar, DAI, USD Coin, Binance, Gemini. Come on, where's ADA? Where's ADA? QCAD, Zcash, ZMIC. See, look, minimum amount not met. These are probably the $40 minimum cryptocurrencies with Monero, Zcash. But ADA is not actually on here yet. So we can't actually see the fees with ADA, but we can make a good comparison with one of these other cryptocurrencies. So if we look at DAI, I looked up DAI price. DAI is actually attached to the US dollar with some smart contract voodoo on the Ethereum blockchain. So DAI is actually worth, at the low, 1.01, and at the high, 1.02, right? So if we go back here, we do 10 times 1.01, that puts us at $10.10. So really, the fees on here are about 1.4%. Which that's not too bad, honestly. I think this actually may be a good site to actually buy gift cards for companies that you want to purchase from directly. What I would like to see, though, is some sort of cash back. I know a lot of these companies will offer cash back if you sell a lot of their gift cards. So that's what I would like to see directly, is a way for us to get cash back from these websites, right? So I think this is pretty cool. I think this is a good addition to ADA. I think this is a good partnership. I would like to see cash back similar to like Crypto.com or like Samsung Pay. There's no reason that we shouldn't be able to get 5 to 15% off on some of these gift cards if they partner with the. Okay, another partnership through Emergo. Let's see if this one's a good one. Emergo Traceability Solution ushered into new stage of growth through joint venture with Blackbird. So I do love the traceability solution stuff, so I'm very excited to see what they're offering today. So usually the beginning of these articles are a bit blah, blah, blah. So Emergo, we all know who Emergo is, founding entity of Cardano. So has entered a strategic partnership agreement with the Israel-based Blackbird Ventures to establish Brandmark, a new joint venture and blockchain solution aimed at leveraging Emergo's tailored blockchain solution suite and Blackbird's expensive network to provide real-world blockchain solutions for large-scale multinational organizations in the current age of Industry 4.0. Brandmark will consist of Emergo's traceability solution and other enterprise blockchain solutions moving forward that will be customized to meet the needs of large-scale clients, especially in the supply chain. So like I said, this is stuff I'm excited about. Large-scale clients, supply chain. For the launch, Brandmark has reached agreements with Ahava, a multinational cosmetics company, Angel Bakeries, the largest commercial bakery in Israel, so we can get some nice baked goods, baked snacks. I want a nice little matcha baked ADA token sent to my house. Come on, Angel Bakeries. I'll shout you out, man. And Hydra Shop, the largest provider of cannabis growing equipment in Israel and self-owned medical cannabis brands, to onboard as initial clients and provide Brandmark's blockchain solution for full traceability and transparency. So this is really cool. We'll read a couple more paragraphs and then I'll start talking about what I think. Brandmark is also in cooperation with Israel's Ministry of Science and Technology, Ministry of Agriculture, and Cultivate, an Israel non-profit, or it's an Israeli non-profit organization working with the government of Ethiopia and academic institutions to ensure food security, economic development, and technology transfer initiatives to explore applications of Brandmark solutions. It's a mouthful, it really is. So yeah, there's a little Brave ad for you. That's what pays you in cryptocurrency. Okay, so this is awesome. I think traceability with cannabis and with food, with coffee, with corn, with anything. I'm from Ohio, so it's easy for me to say corn. But I think us as a society are moving towards healthier products. We're starting to wonder where our stuff's coming from, if it's being mass produced, if pesticides are being used on it, the way it's being made. Some people care about GMOs. Like, there's a million things that comes with the food that you consume, and that also ties in line with the plants that you smoke, the plants that you ingest. If people want to be healthy, maybe smoking pesticides with your cannabis isn't the best way to do that, right? I think that's probably a lot worse than eating a potato with a little bit of pesticides on it. You know what I mean? So I think as we move towards the future, this traceability stuff is going to be very, very important for the average middle class person in the United States, because people are really starting to care about where their food comes from and how it's made and how it's used. And it's also, you also have to think about the locality, right? A lot of people they want to support somebody, right? They want their money to go to the people actually growing it. Not just a middleman, not just some big businessman that's mass producing this stuff. Especially where I'm from, there's a lot of people actually moving towards buying from local places, right? They want everything they make, all their ingredients from a local place, because they know that they're supporting those people. Especially in times where we have big corporate companies pushing out a lot of these small businesses, people are actually starting to care about this stuff. So I think this is really cool. I think traceability makes perfect sense with a lot of stuff, mainly everything that you can consume, even including cannabis and coffee and everything, tea, matcha, everything. So I think this is really cool. I would love to hear you guys' opinion on this stuff down below. Fed exploring hypothetical digital currency with MIT. And then don't forget, Battle Pass Season 5. I'm just kidding. So I think this is really interesting. I've been saying it for years to my family and my friends that we're kind of entering a cyberpunk dystopian era, because I knew we were going to be moving towards a cashless society. I think anyone that's interested in cryptocurrency saw this coming from a mile away, that we're going to be entering a cashless society. So us as ADA holders, or as any cryptocurrency holder, we obviously know what we want. We want a decentralized cryptocurrency to provide us financial freedom, so a centralized bank doesn't have access to everything we do, doesn't have access to our freedoms, our financial freedoms, and they also don't have the ability to keep printing money, giving it to the people that have money, while the rich get richer and the poor get poor. Every time they print money, they strengthen that gap between rich and poor. We all know that. That's all kind of self-evident to us. But the federal government actually coming out and exploring a hypothetical digital currency with MIT, and let's be honest here, they're not exploring it. They're having MIT build them a currency, and then they're going to give it some time, and then they're going to just go for it. They're going to go all in, just like China's doing, right? And this is pretty scary to me, right? Because my vision for the future is I always knew the United States government was going to create a digital currency, right? We all knew it was coming. My goal, my vision for the future is that we have another option, right? We have an option to opt out. We have an option to hold ADA instead of holding a centralized bank digital currency where they can track every expense that you make, everything that you do, and you don't have any financial freedom at that point. And at any time, they can devalue the value that you've earned from your hard working your entire life, right? So let's go into this a little bit and let's see what they're actually doing. I know this doesn't relate to ADA, but it relates to cryptocurrency. It's a little bit political, but I hope you guys like this. Comment down below. Comment Big Pay gets a little political, and tell me what you guys think of this part. Digital dollars on the horizon, maybe, but what comes first? But first comes a focus on policy. A week after details of the Federal Reserve's Instant Payment Initiative emerged, news came via Bloomberg that a central bank is working with the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. I read faster than I talk, and it really messes me up on these, to explore the possibility of issuing digital currency. In a speech delivered by webcast at Federal Reserve Board and Federal Reserve Bank of San Francisco's Innovation Office Hours, Fed Governor Lael Brainard, it's weird that it says Brainard, said that the federal government or the Federal Reserve Bank of Boston is working with the researchers at MIT to build and test a hypothetical digital currency oriented at central bank uses. That's pretty spooky, right? Central bank uses. She said that lessons stemming from the collaboration will be published, adding that any code base developed through the collaboration will be made available as open source software for anyone to use for experimentation. That's pretty cool. I like that. The goal, according to Bernard, is to assess potential risks associated with the proposed digital currency, also known as Central Bank Digital Currency, or CBDC. I hate that. Doesn't that kind of scare you guys? Central Bank Digital Currency, CBDC. I've never seen that term before, and I wish I never had to see it again, and its possible impacts with payments. Separately, a significant policy process would be required to consider the issuance of CBDC, along with the extensive deliberations and engagements with other parts of the federal government and a broad set of other stakeholders. Bernard said in the speech. She added that such a separate policy process has not yet been put into place. Legal issuers, whether a CBDC would have status as legal tender, collaboration with, and learning from other central banks on CBDC will be beneficial. Back in May, 80% of 66 central banks queried by the Bank of International Settlements, BIS, said they were working on CBDCs. It's pretty interesting. 80% of 66% of central banks, that's insane. Notably, China, it's like I was talking about earlier, through the efforts of its central bank, has been developing and testing the rollout of a national digital currency. And even before the BIS findings in March, members of U.S. Congress called for the creation of digital currency that would be a balance expressed as dollar value consisting of digital ledgers, entries that are recorded as liabilities in the accounts of any federal bank or electronic unit of value redeemable by an eligible financial institution. See, this is pretty crazy to me. I'll read this last sentence and then we'll finish up. More recently, since financial and payment systems share extensive cross-border linkages, a poorly designed CBDC issued in one jurisdiction could create financial stability issues in another jurisdiction. So this is why this part right here, this is why you have interoperability between chains, which is pretty cool. Speed and especially the rapid settlement of transactions has been a key focus of the Fed and other financial stakeholders in the wake of the pandemic. So this is really interesting to see all these countries and these central banks come out and try to build a currency, because I think with how much the government has been printing money in the United States, that a lot of the other parts in the world, they're not going to want to hold USD as a reserve currency anymore, right? So what happens when the US dollar is not held as a reserve currency for the majority of the world? A lot of the value and a lot of the faith is actually going to be lost in it. So I think what's going to be happening is governments are going to be looking for a different reserve currency, and that is going to be a cryptocurrency. The next world reserve currency will be a cryptocurrency, right? And it's on us to decide what currency that is. And I really hope it's not China's currency, right? I hope it's not China's national currency. Can you imagine if the whole world held that as a reserve currency? It's a pretty crazy dystopian future. I know this is a little political and a little tinfoil hat, but just let me know if you guys like this kind of stuff down below. We'll move on to the last thing. So the last thing I wanted to talk about today is the Atomic Wallet now supports Shelly, desktop only, mobile pending. I've heard a lot of people ask me, hey man, I have X amount of dollars and X amount of ADA locked up in the Atomic Wallet. How do I get it out? Today's the day you can do it. They now support the Shelly integration, so go ahead and do that. But this is the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed my Cardano weekly recap. Like I said, let me know what you thought of the last segment. I thought it was pretty cool. As far as what's been going on, podcast on Monday with Charles, just to remind you again, at 5 p.m. EST. I am working on that podcast that I told you guys I was going to create. I'm really putting some time into it. It should be out not next week, but the week after. I am actually waiting. The first guest I'm going to have is actually Sebastian. And I'm waiting on Yoroi Ledger integration for him to come on. Because once he does that, he'll actually have some time to come on and do a podcast, but he's so busy with Ledger integration. He's probably getting messages every day from that he's pretty busy. But yeah, thank you for all the support on the stake pools. Thank you for all the support on the videos and the Discord and the Twitter and everything. It really means a lot. I've been having a lot of fun doing all this stuff. Someone asked me yesterday if I was stressed out. I'm not stressed out at all, man. I'm happier than I've ever been. I've been having a great time doing this stuff. And yep, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys have a great week and a great rest of your weekend. Goodbye. Happy Shelly.